I'll be honest, I thought I was done being surprised by pistols. Felt like everything lately was just another remix of the last one. Same slides, same triggers, same plastic dressed up like something special. But then 2025 hit different. Some of these guns came out of nowhere and punched the industry square in the teeth. Others, they weren't new at all. They were sleepers that suddenly blew up. Forums lit up, dealers couldn't restock fast enough, and some of these, man, they had people arguing like it was politics. This ain't about fanboy favorites or Glock clones that checked a box. It's about the handguns that actually made people think. Some good, some bad, but all unforgettable. So let's get into the 13 pistols that shocked the gun world, whether the world was ready for it or not. Around here, folks don't hand out respect easy. You have to earn it, and if you come in acting like the next big thing, people will cut you down twice as fast. That's what happened when Springfield dropped the echelon. Every fella at the diner was grinning, saying, "Another plastic 9. They'll be gone in a year." Sounded like they were already hammering the nails in its coffin. But 2025 had a way of making folks eat their words. The echelon didn't just roll over and die, you see. I've seen more of them showing up at the range than I ever expected. My buddy Travis, you see, he's carried a Glock since Clinton was in office, said he'd never touch a Springfield, swore them off after the XD days. Then, he tried one out of spite. First mag, he was still John. Second mag, his group started stacking. By the third, he just shook his head and said, "Well, hell, this ain't what I thought." Now don't mistake me, it's not knocking Glock off no throne. But the surprise? The damn thing stuck. Folks who wanted to bury it had to admit it wasn't just smoke. And if you think Springfield turning heads was unexpected, wait till you see what the beast pulled off next. That damn G3C, let me tell you, it near about drove me crazy. First day I shot it, I thought, well, looky here, Taurus finally cleaned up their act. Grip sat nice, sights weren't trash, and it didn't feel like the old rattling junk they used to slink. I was smiling, but then the jam started. Not once, not twice, enough to where I started keeping a tally on the back of the ammo box. Felt like it was testing me, seeing how long I'd put up with it. I'd clean it, oil it, swap mags, swap ammo, say a prayer or two. Didn't matter. Some days it ran like a champ, but the next day it coughed and choked like it hated me. And here's what really shocked me. I still see them everywhere. Gas station, pawn shop, even one fella at church had one on his hip. Folks say it's cheap, Steve. It does the job most days, and maybe they're right. Maybe I'm the fool expecting better. I don't know. That pistol makes me mad just thinking about it. And if you think that's something, wait till you hear what Sig pulled with the P365 line. Every time I bring up the 380, somebody rolls their eyes. "Steve, that's a mouse round. Ain't no man still carrying that." Hell, I've even said that over the years. But Ruger just went and slipped the security 380 out, and I'll be damned if it didn't shut a few mouths in 2025. Thing's not built for gunfights at 50 yards. It's built so you'll actually keep it on your hip. Easy racking, soft recoil, light in the belt. It feels more like carrying a pocket knife than a pistol. And when the day's all done, the truth is simple. A 380 on you beats a 9mm sitting back home in the dresser. I watched one old cowboy at the country range swap his snub revolver for this little Ruger. Said his hands were too stiff for small frame 38s anymore, but this 380 slid smooth and didn't beat him up. He grinned like a kid first time he dumped a mag without even flinching. So yeah, folks can laugh at the caliber all day, But this year, the Security 380 reminded everybody, comfort and control can be a bigger surprise than firepower. I'm tired of it. Honest truth. Tired of hearing about the Glock 19, tired of folks asking if it's still the one to carry. Feels like we've been jawing the same question since Bush was in the office. But here's the truth that'll make you shake your head. It's still here. Still the pistol every other 9 gets compared to. Still the gun that rides on more belts than any other. You would think by now somebody would have knocked it clean off the hill. Hell, I thought SIG had it. Springfield tried, even CZ threw their hat in, yet in 2025, the 19 Gen 5 MOS just keeps running. Boring? Maybe. Predictable? Damn right. But comfort isn't supposed to be sexy. Folks carry it because it disappears easy enough, points the same every time, and never gives them a reason to quit. You can call it overhyped, you can call it dated, but it doesn't matter. What shocked me wasn't that Glock built another winner, it's that after all these years, nobody's built a better all-rounder. And maybe that's the biggest surprise of them all. The dullest gun in the room still wins the fight. You carry that boat anchor? You carry that boat anchor? That's what a buddy barked at me when he spotted the Shadow 2 compact on my hip. I just grinned. Heavy? Damn right it's heavy. Slides into the belt like a brick in your jeans, but when you touch it off, all that weight turns into calm. It's not built like the plastics everybody's taunting. The holster squeaks when you sit down, drags on your belt if you wear it all day. Folks keep asking me why I bothered. I tell them because it don't move. Recoil doesn't flip, muzzle doesn't dance. Every shot stacks where I want it. Lighter guns bounce, but this one just stays put. The truth is, it makes no sense in 2025. Everybody's selling smaller, thinner, and lighter pistols. The Shadow 2 compact walks the other way, stubborn and unapologetic. And maybe that's the surprise. Not that it's carry-friendly and not that it's modern, just that people still strap it on, proud of the weight, happy with the fight it saves them on recoil. It's not logical, but hell, logic doesn't always win. And if you thought this was backwards, wait until you hear about the Glock that just refuses to die. Too damn expensive. That's the first thing out of my mouth when I saw the effing 509 compact MRD sitting in the case. Ain't no farm boy spending that kind of scratch when a Glock will do the job. Folks walked past it, same as I did. But I kept hearing whispers, deputies using them, range boys saying it ate everything they fed it. Curiosity got the better of me, and I finally got one dirty. Ran it hard, holster wear, dust, a couple of rounds of mixed ammo. The thing didn't hiccup even once. Slide tracked like a coonhound on scent, sights cut clean, and I found myself hitting straighter than I had any business doing. Still not cheap, still feels like effing smirking when they print the price tag, but here's what knocked me sideways in 2025. That pistol proved why it costs more. Not in brochures, not in shiny ad talk. It's in the way it ran when most people would have quit on you. You can laugh at the sticker all you want, but you can't laugh at how it shoots. And if you think that's a shock, wait till you hear how Glock fooled everyone with their so-called new pistol. Oh Lord almighty, that Beretta APX A1 carry. First time I laid eyes on it, I said, well, that's uglier than a monk fence in August. Looked like Beretta built it out of spare lunch boxes and called it a day. The boys down at the feed store cracked jokes for weeks. But funny thing, I kept seeing the damn thing show up. Fella from the next ranch over bought one on sale. Said he figured it was just truck gun material, something cheap that he wouldn't cry over if it rusted in the glove box. He took it out back, rattled off a couple of mags, and came back scratching his head. Shoots better than I thought, Steve. Might keep it on me. Now don't mistake me. It's not win no beauty contest, and you sure won't catch me polishing one for show. But the surprise is simple. That ugly little cuss just works. Folks can laugh all they want, but around here, if a gun runs steady, it finds a place on somebody's belt. Ugly dog, sure, but this ugly dog still bites. And if you thought this one was a curveball, wait until you see the next entry. That surprise hit on a whole different level. Say Kel-Tec P15 at the range, and you'll get two kinds of reactions. Half the crowd laughs, no way that thing runs. The other half says it's the first Kel-Tec they'd actually trust to carry. That debate alone tells you how much this pistol shocked people in 2025. The numbers are crazy on paper. 15 plus 1 rounds in a pistol that weighs just 14 ounces. That's capacity in the Glock 19 range packed into something closer to a pocket gun. Carrying it feels almost unreal. You forget it's even there until you draw it. Now I'm gonna be honest, mine did choke once. First range trip, a jam. And I thought, well, there it is, Kel-Tec being Kel-Tec. But after a clean, a fresh mag, and a couple of 100 rounds later, it ran smooth. No more hiccups, no more drama. That was the surprise. I expected more hiccups, but instead, it kept proving itself. So no, it may not be polished, the finish feels budget, the trigger's nothing fancy, and the name will always carry baggage. But in 2025, the Kel-Tec P15 shut a lot of people up simply by showing it could deliver comfort and firepower in the same package. Now here's a twist I surely didn't expect. Walther went and put the F-Series in steel. Most folks figured that lineup was meant to stay light, easy, built for smaller hands and simple carry. Then they dropped a version that packed iron in the frame, and buddy, that changed the whole conversation. At first, folks grumbled. What good's extra weight on a pistol made for comfort, they said. And they weren't wrong. Adding ounces isn't usually what makes a carry gun better. But then, people started shooting it. That heavier frame soaked up recoil like a sponge. The muzzle barely lifted. You could run round after round, and the thing just stayed planted. I reckon it's not for everyone. Some will say that it defeats the purpose, but others, once they tried it, started smiling. Like carrying a little bit more iron gave them steadier hands and straighter hits. So maybe the surprise isn't that Walther built it. The surprise is how many shooters, even country boys who use the plastic 9s, walked away saying, I could get used to that. Tell me this doesn't sound like a bad joke. Take a Glock 17 slide, slap on a Glock 45 frame, and sell it like it's something new. That's what the Glock 47 looked like when it first hit. I remember laughing, saying they ran out of numbers and just started recycling parts. But I'll be damned if it didn't turn heads this year. Cops started picking it up, trainers running classes with it, and the next thing I know, the same boys who mocked it were bragging they had one in their safe. Surprised the hell out of me. The thing is, it shoots like a Glock. Steady, boring, and reliable, but that longer slide on the shorter frame kind of feels right. Points quick, carries easier than a 17, and still runs like a dog that's been hunting 10 seasons. I hate to admit it, but they built something folks actually want, even if it was by accident. So yep, laugh all you want, the 47 fooled more people than it should have. And if you thought Glock pulled a trick, wait till you see what SIG did. That surprise cut even deeper. Ain't a soul in Texas thought they'd see a deputy strapping a Caddick. But this year, I've seen it with my own eyes. That right there tells you how much the Meti MC9 shook folks up in 2025. You see, Caddick was always the butt of the joke. Gun show tables stacked with them, pawn shops trying to unload them, and folks saying, buy a Caddick if you can't afford something real. That was the reputation. But this pistol went and rewrote the story. The MC9 hit the shell slimmer than its big brothers, optics cut clean, and a trigger smoother than folks had any right to expect for the money. Didn't take long before people started paying attention. First, it was the budget crowd, and then the tinkerers, and before long, I spotted it riding in holsters I'd never figured. Lawmen, ranch hands, even one fella I know who swore by his sig. Now don't get me wrong, it's not perfect. Still ain't got the aftermarket of a Glock, and plenty of folks won't carry Turkish iron no matter what. But the surprise is simple. A Canic finally crossed that line from cheap range toy to trusted sidearm, and that's no small feat. When Effin announced a reflex, I remember the first comment I heard. Great, another overpriced Effin nobody's gonna carry. And honestly, I pretty much agreed. Effin had the military pedigree, sure, but micro compacts, that wasn't their lane. Most people figured it would flop before it even touched the shelves. But then 2025 hit, and suddenly the reflex wasn't just a shelf sitter, people were actually strapping it on. The trigger was cleaner than expected, the ergonomics felt sharp in the hand, and the gun carried slimmer than its specs made you believe. I saw one guy at the range who swore by his P365 try a reflex out of curiosity. 10 rounds later, he turned around and said, "Damn, this thing's good." That's when I knew Effin had pulled a fast one. The reflex didn't just exist to fill space, it proved Effin can play in the concealed carry world without embarrassing itself. It's still not cheap, and some shooters say the aftermarket isn't deep enough yet, but in 2025, the reflex shocked everyone by showing that Effin could finally build a micro compact worth carrying. I rolled my eyes as soon as I heard the name. Another P365? Lord, 6 just squeezing every drop out of that lemon. Thought it was nothing, but more marketing, slap on a new name, tack a few dollars, and watch fanboys line up. I swore I wasn't buying the hype. Then I shot one, and I hated that I liked it. That tac ops runs slicker than it's got any right to. Full-size feel in a slim frame, muzzle that stays flatter than it's supposed to, and I'm not talking bench rest groups. I mean fast strings, dirty hands, still hitting where I wanted to. Holster up, and it don't dig like most pistols with that kind of capacity. I walked away thinking, damn it, Sig, you pulled it off again. And that is the surprise. Not that it exists. We all knew Sig was churning out another one. The shock was that they built something that shut out the critics, even loudmouths like me. I didn't want to respect it, but here we are. Now, I did say 13 handguns, but surprise, surprise, 2025 had a couple of extra curveballs I can't leave out. So here's your bonus number 1, the Ruger RXM. Nobody figured Ruger would make noise in the Micro 9 game. Folks expected the same old good enough pistol and moved on, but when the RXM landed, shooters perked up. Slim profile, optics cut, and a trigger that didn't feel like grinding gravel. It surprised damn near everyone who tried it. I watched one fella run a full day course with it, burning through cheap range ammo. No stoppages, no grumbles, just steady performance. He holstered it at sundown and said, "Steve, I think Ruger finally built something that don't feel like a compromise." That's when I knew it earned a spot here. And if you thought Ruger pulling this off was a shock, wait till you hear who finally jumped into the concealed carry fight. That's bonus number 2, and it's a big one. Alright, time for bonus number 2, the HK CC9. Now this one damn near broke the internet when it showed up. HK had been sitting out the carry fight for years, letting Glock and Sig hawk the spotlight. Then, from out of nowhere, 2025 drops the CC9, a true HK made small enough to ride on your belt. And it's not just name hype. The grip feels like it was carved to fight, the trigger snaps clean, and the slide cycled like it's greased glass. I'll admit, price tag steep enough to make a rancher spit a sweet tea, but folks still lined up. Why, you ask? 'Cause it's an HK that finally rides easy. I even had an old revolver man swap his wheel gun for one, said he couldn't put it down once he shot it. That's the kind of surprise you don't see coming. Now, don't run off just yet. The outro ties this whole ride together, and if you skip it, you'll miss the part that matters most. You can love them, hate them, or swear you'd never carry one, but these pistols move the needle. They stirred things up, and not every gun does that. Some shocked folks with quality, others shocked them with chaos. Either way, they left a mark in 2025. And hey, if your pick ain't on the list, don't blame me. Maybe your pistol's great, but this year, it didn't raise no eyebrows. This is your boy Steve, and I'll be back real soon.